What's up, guys? This is going to be some quick leans, meaning these are not official bets. These are not official picks even. I'm just giving you my first thoughts on the card and potential picks and potential bets. So the first fight for me is Alice Pereira versus Hailey Cowan. I'm interested in Cowan because she's the better wrestler. I think she's a little bigger. She's fought more UFC competition, though she hasn't really done well with them. But at plus 105, I think she can take Pereira down. That's going to be something one of the first things I'll look at because I'm looking to make a play there. And I don't want to miss the line because I don't really want to bet her if she's not plus money. But right now, Cowan for the pick and possibly a money line bet. Azamat Bakoev versus Tresean Gore. I don't really know why this fight's happening. So yeah, I'm going to pick Bakoev here. I just never thought Gore was good. I didn't think he was good on The Ultimate Fighter. Hold on. A little bit of coffee. Yeah, so I'm picking Bakoev. Gore, I don't think is good. Didn't even like him ever since the Ultimate Fighter. I think he did well on kind of a weak season, and then he's like 5-4, I believe, in the UFC. He has some like fluky guillotine wins. Watch him win by guillotine against Bakoev here, but I don't trust him to win by guillotine. I don't trust him to win by anything. So I'm just trying to look at the odds right here. Yeah, he's plus 400. So Bakoev is a minus 550 favorite. If I'm doing like a ladder parlay or a anchor parlay, I'll probably have Bakoev in there. I'm pretty confident that he wins the fight. Diane Barbosa versus Melissa Gatto. A fight I am interested in, and I know not everybody will have that feeling, but I like Melissa Gatto. Yeah, so Melissa Gatto, decent jiu-jitsu. She won by TKO to the body in her last fight against Tamaris Vidal. She stopped Sijara Eubanks. I mean, I used to really like Eubanks, but she's kind of a hard fighter to depend on. She's just kind of a fluky person. Kind of a flaky person, too. Yeah. So, and then we got Barbosa. Barbosa, the problem here for Gatto, I think, is Barbosa is also a jiu-jitsu person. Really kind of jacked woman. She's slightly older than Gatto. She's 33. Gatto, I believe, is like 29. Gatto 9-2. Barbosa 8-4. So, I mean, instinctually, I would want to go with Gatto. I've liked her. And she's plus 120. But don't go betting that yet because I need to look into Barbosa more. I don't remember Barbosa enough off the top of my head. But I know in the past I've liked Gatto. Another one that I have no idea why it's happening. Lando Venata versus Darius Flowers. The last time I bet on Michael Johnson was because I thought he should definitely beat Darius Flowers, and he did. I mean, in Flowers' defense, he's fought a good run of people in the UFC. He's 0-3 in the UFC, but he fought Jake Matthews, Michael Johnson, and Evan Elder. I mean, if you're going to be somebody in the UFC, you're going to be Michael Johnson when you're younger in your career. And he didn't do that. So, yeah, I don't think Flowers is that good. He's not really going to wrestle. He's not really going to grapple. He's 1-6 to the submission, meaning he has 1 submission win, 6 submission losses. 2 of them are in the UFC, but that means he was submitted 4 times outside of the UFC. Just not a great prospect. Venata only 2 years older. They're about the same size. Venata doesn't have a lot of wins lately, but he's fought if you watch the UFC for a long time, he has a win over Yancy Medeiros, over Mike Grundy. If you guys know me, you know I probably liked Mike Grundy, which I did. Yeah, I mean, Lando Vannata was a decent mid-card fighter a few years ago. But we haven't seen Vannata since April 2023, so coming up on 2 years now. And then we hadn't seen him for a year before that, and a year before that, and a year before that. So he hasn't been very active at all, which is always a red flag. Just isn't fighting. But I still favor him to beat Flowers here. Vannata 5-2 by the submission. Maybe he submits Flowers. That's on the table. Somebody that's 1-6 to the submission, 4-0 by knockout. Vannata never been stopped by strikes. 3-5, 2 to decision. Lando Vannata, not good. I don't like to see 3-5 to decision. That's a poor record. Flowers is 3-1, but he has not done that in the UFC. Most of his wins come by way of knockout. I would be surprised to see him knock out Lando Vannata, who's just an established fighter. So let's take a quick look at the odds here. Vannata minus 225. Flowers plus 180. I think that's too short. My gut right now is to put a bet on Vannata, even at minus 225. He's definitely a parlay piece. Even with inactivity, I just don't think Flowers is good. Moving on, Alessandro Costa and Stuart Nickel. Honestly, I remember both of these names, but I don't remember a ton about them. Looking at Costa's photo here, he looks really familiar, and I remember thinking that he was good. So he's fought Steve Erceg, he's fought Kevin Boras, he's fought Jimmy Flick. He beat Jimmy Flick. He stopped him by knockout. Most people that stop Jimmy Flick stop him by knockout. He's got 6 knockout losses in his career. I don't think Jimmy Flick's still fighting. I don't remember Stuart Nickel now. I do not recognize him. I don't recognize the fights that he was in. Fought Luis Roca. Yeah, 0-2 in the UFC. I don't know. Let's see what the line is. Minus 425 Costa. All right, so my instinct was right. Nickel doesn't look good, just based on looking at his record. And this line, he's a plus 300 underdog. Obviously, I have to go back and watch some Nickel fights, get an idea of who he is again. Maybe airplane going over my apartment. I need to maybe go back and look and see if I wrote about him in any of my breakdowns on Substack, Prelim Tim MMA. But yeah, Costa would be my pick. No plan for action on that right now, but he seems like the favorite. Jose Mauro Delano. I remember this guy's picture. He fought on the Contender Series and beat Manuel Esposito by decision. I think I like Delano, but I would have to go back and read my Substack. I do very detailed breakdowns on the Contender Series for the last 2 years on Substack, so hopefully I didn't miss that card and I have a lot of information about him, as well as links to Delano's fights outside the UFC. So if you want to look for yourself, August 19th, 2025 would be his Contender Series fight, and it was week 2 of last season. So if you look for that on my Substack, I should have a breakdown on Jose Delano. Yeah, I feel like I remember this guy. He fought Gabriel Santos in LFA and lost to him, but I think that was a good fight, and I like Santos. But I don't remember for sure. But my memory, I feel like I remember Delano and I liked him. So then we got this Robert Ricola, guy from Poland. Lost to William Gomis, not a bad loss. He's 11-2. Seems pretty young. Not a lot of UFC experience. I would think Delano, just based on, I feel like I liked him before, but this is the second one now that I just don't feel like I have a lot to say off the jump about this fight, and definitely nothing to take what I'm saying right now and place a bet on it. But let's look at the odds. Okay, so my gut seems right again. Delano minus 425, Ricala plus 300. So the same odds as the other fight that I was not sure about. So I'm leaning, I think, the right direction on both of those, but I'm talking from vague memories. So my pick right now will be Delano. No plan for a bet. I have to see what's up with the tape. Guilherme Pat versus Thomas Peterson. My initial lean here is I'm always interested in Peterson at heavyweight. He's a legit wrestler. He's done okay in the UFC. He was knocked out badly by Vitor Petrino, but I don't remember this Pat guy that well, but I don't think he's Vitor Petrino. It's not great that Peterson lost to Shamil Gaziev, but I mean, he beat people like Mo Usman. He should have beaten Jamal Pogues. That's a bad loss. Yeah, so Peterson's not great, but he is a wrestler. And if you can take people down at heavyweight, there's not a lot of people that can wrestle. I couldn't tell you Pat's wrestling background right now without going back and looking at his fights. But I can tell you that he's 6-0, 4 by a KO, 0 by submission, and 2 by decision. So if I'm guessing, he's probably not a big wrestler. He's also Brazilian, not the biggest wrestling country. He's a 6'5" guy. He's really jacked, though, from his picture. Thomas Peterson is 6'1", and he's not very jacked at all. So my lean is Peterson because I like Thomas Peterson. I like to target him. He's minus 105. I don't love that even without looking at the tape. I'd rather see a plus money for Thomas Peterson here. If he's plus money, I'd probably like to bet him without looking at the tape. I could change my mind once I do. I need to look at Pat defending takedowns, see what I can find with him wrestling. So this is a pretty big fight. Tommy McMillan versus Manolo Zucchini. Zucchini, one of the few Italians on the roster, I believe. Lost to Morgan Charrier. Not a terrible loss. Pretty good guy. Lots of knockouts. Nine of his 11 wins by knockout. Then he comes into the UFC and gets knocked out. Not the best sign. Tommy McMillan, Tommy Gunn. I do like this guy. And I finally, after like the last 3 fights, is somebody, well, I could talk about Thomas Peterson, but this is somebody that I can feel like I can talk about, and I'm close to having an official things to say, but not yet. So McMillan came out the Contender Series, looked good. He's very well-rounded, very good grappling, very good striking. He's aggressive, he's young, he trains with Sean O'Malley. His style is kind of like Sean O'Malley if Sean O'Malley was a bigger grappler. So I like this guy. I'm going to look for spots to target him here in this matchup versus somebody that was knocked out by Morgan Charrier and just doesn't have a lot of other high-level experience. I definitely lean McMillan. Let's look at the... All right, so McMillan's minus 1,000. So I'm not on to anything big here. Everybody thinks he's going to win. I'll have to get back to you later in the week about what his lines are on the submission and stuff like that. But big favorite here. I would pick McMillan. I expect that his props won't be any fun to bet. I would probably look at what his submission line is, but it's probably not going to be good. Ethan Ewing versus Rafael Estevam. Ewing was the guy that came in on late notice late last year to fight Malcolm Wallmaker and upset him unanimous decision. So he landed 85 significant strikes in that fight, 3 takedowns. Malcolm Wallmaker is not really the biggest grappler, though. It doesn't really tell me much that he could take Malcolm Wallmaker down. I'd have to go back and look at some more fight footage of him. Estevam, I know, is a wrestler grappler. He attempted 19 takedowns in his fight against Jesus Aguilar. He landed 11. He's also landed 5 against Felipe Bunes. He also beat Charles Johnson, taking him down 3 times. So, I mean, Estevam is a good guy. I like his tenacity to go for takedowns. I'd have to look at Ewing again, but my gut reaction is to look at betting Estevam here, and Estevam is currently plus 125. Ethan Ewing minus 155. So at this number, if I look at the tape and I'd still feel the same way, I would bet Estevam. I think there's a decent chance I bet Estevam, just given what I think now. I do think Estevam is going up in weight now, so he's not going to have like a strength advantage that he might have enjoyed before. That's something to think about. But yeah, my initial thoughts on this are Estevam is the pick and possibly a bet on his money line. Abdul Rahman Yakayev versus Brunson Ribeiro. Rahman Yakayev being the guy that came from the Contender Series. He got a TKO in round 1 there, got a submission in round 1 against Rafael Sakura in his debut. He looked pretty good in both of them, but I feel like in both of them he was kind of flirting with danger. Brunson Ribeiro is somebody who has been knocked out 5 times, and he has been knocked out two times in the UFC, submitted twice. Yakayev could also win by submission. I'm definitely leaning Yakayev here, and I expect, when I look at the odds, that yes, minus 1,400 favorite is currently Yakayev. Ribeiro you can get at plus 850. Definitely leaning Yakayev here. I probably don't expect to do much in terms of betting him. Co-main event. I like this fight a lot. I don't know how many other people are going to really like it, but Virna Jandiroba versus Tabitha Ricci. Virna coming off of losing to Mackenzie Dern for the strawweight championship, and she is 37, almost 38 kind of years old. Her birthday is in late May. She's getting up to the place in age where you don't really want to bet her too much. Tabitha just turned 31. So Virna's a grappler, we all know. Ricci's never been submitted, I think is important to note. I want to say Ricci hasn't been taken down too much. So she was taken down by Amanda Ribas. She was taken down by Jillian Robertson. She was taken down by Manon Farrow. So taking that a few times, mostly winning the takedown battles. I don't expect that she's going to be taking down Jandiroba much. Jandiroba took down Mackenzie Dern 9 times in their fight that she just lost. 3 against Yan Jonan. The last time she got taken down twice by Dern, but before that, the last time Jandiroba was taken down was 2022 against Angela Hill. She gave up 1 takedown. My guess would be I caught her by surprise. She also was taken down by Ribas. Ribas is a pretty good grappler. And then she was taken down 4 times by my girl, Carla Esparza, and Jandiroba's UFC debut. So none of those are anything to be like, oh, maybe her takedown defense isn't that good. It seems like it probably is. She wasn't taken down more than once by anybody but Dern and Esparza. So, I don't know. This still is a tough fight because of Virna's age and because of Ricci lands more strikes and is a better striker on the feet. I think that Verna can take her down. I'm not sure Tabitha can take her down. I know Verna's jiu-jitsu is better, but if Verna can't land takedowns or land enough takedowns, I think she probably loses minutes on the feet. I don't know if you guys hear that banging in the background. My kid is up. I don't know what he's doing. Main event, Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. It's a weird fight, but I think it's a good one. We got Moicano, 10 wins by submission, coming off of 2 straight losses. One, Islam Makhachev, not a bad loss. He beats basically everybody. I mean, I don't really know who I would pick to beat Makhachev right now. But then he lost to Beneil Dariush, and Dariush had been on a really bad run. I think I probably played Moicano in that spot. I don't remember for sure offhand. Before that, Moicano had beaten Benoit Saint-Denis, who I picked him to beat Saint-Denis there and won a decent amount of money on it. He beat Jalen Turner. He beat Drew Dober. He beat Brad Riddell, who's now out. So he was doing well. Moicano, very dangerous. Knocked out 3 times. Kind of a suspect chin. That seems to have gotten better. There was a time when I was very afraid that basically anybody hurts him. Chris Duncan, decent grappler. He's got 4 wins by submission, only 1 loss. He was submitted in the UFC, though. The only time he was submitted, which kind of means maybe he was being made to look better at grappling than he is at the below the UFC level. He got submitted by Manuel Torres, not the greatest grappler, but he's opportunistic, decent guy. Then Duncan's been on a good run. Beat Jordan Vucenic. He got him out of the UFC, which was kind of disappointing. I wanted to see Vucenic do more. He just beat Terrence McKinney at the end of last year. McKinney coming off of a big win this weekend. So Duncan, he's kind of a guy who I wasn't sure how good he was going to be coming into the UFC. He looks decent. But I do just initially lean Moicano for his jiu-jitsu skills, for his aggression on the feet. Let me pull up the stats real quick. We got, Duncan landing more, just over 5 strikes per minute. Moicano just 4.17. Duncan absorbing more in return, almost 5 in return, with Moicano only taking 3.5. Moicano's defensive rate, not surprising after saying that, is better at 59%, which is a very good percentage. Duncan 51, still a decent percentage. Duncan lands a lot more takedowns on average. That's interesting. Let me just look at this real quick. He took down Vucenic 4 times. That's probably... He took down Omar Morales 5 times. So it's really baked into those 2 fights for Chris Duncan. Moicano, I guess, he got taken down 5 times by Dariush. He took down Turner twice, took down Dober 3 times. It's interesting that he only took down Saint-Denis once, because it seemed like he was on top of him, beating him up a lot. But I'd have to watch the fight again to really understand. So yeah, Moicano, I guess, lands less. I don't know. I feel like when it comes down to it, if you throw who they're taking down into the equation, I think Moicano is just as good, if not a better wrestler than Chris Duncan. So I lean Moicano here for the pick, without looking into it further yet. I'm just trying to find the line for you real fast. So again, Moicano underdog, plus 165, Duncan minus 200. That's definitely interesting. I'll have to look at the tape and see why this is so wide, because it doesn't surprise me necessarily that Moicano is the underdog, but that he's plus 165 without looking into anything else, really, I feel surprised. But yeah, so those are my quick leans for now. No official bets, no official picks, just what I think, just running down the card. Thanks.